years ago, I said when I'm 30, I will do an Ironman. There are so many milestones that are expected of us, which I have little interest in. Like, I don't ever want to get married. I never expect to own a house. I'll be impressed if I own a car one day. I can't drive. Like, I can't afford to go on holiday. I could take or leave having kids as a thing. This was a way of going, I want a milestone that's mine to own.
It's a kind of meditation. Hannah doesn't really do alternative things, but the rhythm and the calming effect of the stroke and the timing and the counting actually calms her mind.
Most of the time we're not that aware of the thoughts that we're having. Whilst they are subliminally affecting us and we're probably responding to things, that we're not necessarily, overly aware of them or analysing the kind of thoughts that we're having. But yes, when you have that period of time that is uninterrupted and suddenly there is just you, your body and what's going on in your head, then obviously your thoughts suddenly become very salient, and often that's the time where sometimes you see elite performers and you think, what's happened there? And it's because the thoughts have taken over.
Yeah, swimming, you just have to concentrate on your own thing, you just get into the breathing in your stroke, and it is, well, for me anyway, it's just about me in the water. Yeah,
I go running early in the mornings at, say, sometimes 3 o'clock in the morning, and that is really nice, especially sometimes running into the city, like into London and back, and it's all, completely, I definitely like that part of it. I don't know if I'm alone now. I don't know, but maybe there is, because obviously life, there's so much busyness, isn't there? But in the running and the swimming, you're by yourself. Yeah, I suppose that is a big part of it, yeah.
I would say, like a peace of mind, but at the same time, it's like pushing the body to what it possibly can go through, like its limit, you know what I mean? Like what I can do personally. I know many people can probably take it to an extreme level, but me, I like to see how far I can go. My body can take a beating on exercise, etc., etc.
Partly it's you set yourself these goals, and to achieving these goals you really do get self-fulfillment, because you get those mastery experiences. Self-determination theory would talk about a sense of autonomy and agency and purpose. So, you've had this free choice and you are engaging in something that you have chosen to do for a purpose that is important to you. And then the other part of that theory will be about connectedness. So maybe connected to a broader, social network outside of you or something bigger. So I guess with you it would be feeling part of that Ironman fraternity. That you're connected to something that is bigger than just you. There's a social group and a social identity beyond your personal identity. This sort of self-actualization, it's again very reinforcing. I guess it may backfire in terms of you keep pushing and keep pushing and keep pushing, and then it becomes very difficult if you set your heart on these particular goals and that is part of your identity, to then not complete the goal could actually shatter your identity if you aren't able to maintain this goal or this competence, that drives you. That it's really like your identity is going to be shattered. So it becomes so important that you can't fail. You have to keep going no matter what.
I feel better. Tomorrow's just tomorrow, and the 3 hours before, the 3 hours between when I get up and when I'm in the water are going to be horrible. I'll be impressed if I sleep. But that's it. The waiting for the thing's always much worse than actually doing the thing. And then it's just a thing that I will have to do for, 13 to 14 hours. Let's see.
break training down into all sorts of things really, but in terms of getting fitter, then training works by breaking the body down. What we're trying to do is do a little bit more than we've done before, than you've done before. So that's breaking the body down, and that's the misconception that most people have, is that that's the bit that's working, and in fact it's not. The next bit's the important bit, is where we repair the body. We break the body down and then we rebuild it a bit stronger. And if you include appropriate periods of rest for that to happen, and you progress at a slow, steady rate, then you will make slow progress. If you try to shortcut the process by doing too much too soon, what invariably happens is you get aches and pains which turn into injuries, which means you can't train, or you overload the immune system, which means you get ill, which means you can't train. So there's a speed at which the body will adapt. Some people adapt quicker than others.
I think you can start seeing everything through the lens of your training and your competition, and you can take things very seriously if you want to. You start thinking about everything like diet and exercise and routine and things like that, and the way I get up in the morning has completely changed in the face of having to get training in. It's shaping my life around the training rather than the training around my life, if you get what I mean. And I don't think I'm kind of the worst for it, but I think a lot of people go a lot further than that.
Possibly, yes. It can do. I mean, it can become quite obsessive, I think, isn't it? But you think of your training lots of times. If you train 4 or 5 times a week, that's a lot of things to schedule in, and try and factor that in amongst other commitments, be it work or relationship things. That's a difficult thing to schedule. So you have to have an understanding partner.
I know people who have been told in no uncertain terms by their partner that they've got to start training less because it's affecting their relationship, their moods, and it can be tough for some people to find that balance. But I would say that's probably the same with people who go to watch their team play home and away in football, or people who like a drink. You know, too much is bad.
Hannah is intensely single-minded. It's her nature. And I think it takes her over. I think it's who she is. When she was about 12 or 13, we had The Sims computer game. She played it, and you know how you can stack up jobs for the characters to do, the ones with the diamond over the head. Something clicked in Hannah's mind, and from then on, the little diamond's been over her head, and she's had lists, and she's had jobs, and she has a plan. So she's just very, very single-mindedly organised. But I wouldn't call it an obsession in that she has control. She chooses what she's going to do.
How was it? The swim was beautiful. The swim was perfect. The water was cool and clear but warmer than the air, and I felt strong, and my catch was great, and you know, and before I knew it I was crossing the 400 metres, and then it was just the way back, and the swim was perfect, and I did the best possible time that I could do. And like the first 60, 80k of the bike, I was like, I'm gonna hit like 6 hours, not 7.5, which is my aim. Like I'm hitting 32 kilometers an hour, and then the rain started, and I didn't really have, I didn't bring the right kit really for what the weather was today, and then the wind started, and it was like strong headwinds for an awful lot of it. And the bike was genuinely the hardest bit. The bike was when my brain went, do you know what though, can you do this? Which I've never heard it do before. And my speed dropped, but I got around in the time that I wanted. But it was genuinely miserable. Like my knees, just the joints, they were hurting for at least half of the ride. To the point where it just was hurting to turn every pedal stroke. But the first 10k of the run felt amazing. absolutely amazing because I wasn't cold. Because even though it's raining, like when you're running, you're doing enough to keep yourself warm. And then it was 8 kilometres to go, and then it was 5, and I walked the top of the lake to that feed station, got some Coke, and decided that I was just gonna hammer the last like 2 kilometres, and came over the line real strong, and that's kind of important to me. Like, there's a part of my identity which is like you sprint at the end, no matter what it felt like. And I've done it.